So we go from playing number 1 to number 3, and we're going to their place.
Yeah. Another great opportunity for our football program against a nationally ranked team. And like I said, South Dakota State, in my opinion, all 4 of the Dakota schools will be national championship contenders. South Dakota State, they had a really hard-fought game against South Dakota, which was down to overtime. And like I said, they had a really tough game the week before, really hard-fought game versus North Dakota. So very similar to the other Dakota schools. You look at them on film, they're big, they're fast, they're strong, very well coached. Coach Rogers and his staff do an amazing job. Like I said, they're the defending national champions. So anytime you get to play the defending national champions, that's always an honor, and it's always, you better bring your best football. So we got a lot of guys banged up. I think we got over 40-something guys right now on the injury report. But, like I say every week, that's football this time of year. We've kind of, looking for creative ways to practice. Most of ours have been injured during games. We hadn't had a lot of guys get injured during practice, knock on wood, but it's a lot of injuries in games, with broken bones to separating bones and different things. So we got a lot of guys in the training room trying to get back healthy.
These 41, not all of these are out for the season, right?
We've got, James Camden, our starting Mike linebacker. We lost him for the season. Jordan Washington, who was our starting running back, more than likely going to be out for the season with a collarbone. So, it's no fun losing those 2, but, they'll work hard to be back, next season. And James done a great job staying engaged with our linebackers and stuff. And, it means a lot to him and some other guys that are injured still being around the team trying to help any way they can. But we gotta find. We were fortunate enough to play some. Have some younger guys step up, and you always got to have that next man up mentality. And like I tell them all the time, nobody's gonna feel sorry for you that you got injuries and everything. So it's just a great opportunity for some young guys to get some valuable reps. So that's what we're going to do, and we got to be creative and find a way to try to gain some yards. They've got a really good defense. South Dakota State has, Mike linebacker Adam Brock is a heck of a player. All 3 of their linebackers and their nickel impressed all 3 levels on defense. When you're solid from the defensive line, linebackers and secondaries usually a sign of a really good defense. And that's what they've shown. Their corners are really good as well. They can cover you up. They can create pass rush with a 4-man rush. They also have a lot of good blitz they get home. Offensively, Gronowski, their quarterback, I think is probably one of the, I think he's a NFL quarterback, no doubt. He can make all the throws and he can run, and everything they do on offense. It starts with him, and you can tell he's a great leader. Gets him in the right situations, and he can make a lot of plays with his arms, leg, and probably more important, his leadership and the way he directs the offense. So, like I said, they're explosive, and they got a lot of good running backs that can score anytime they touch the ball. Really solid receivers. So not a lot of we're trying to find some chinks in the armor, but we haven't found any yet. So we're gonna keep watching. And like I said, we got to starts with having a good practice tomorrow, and that's all we can do is control and try to be the best version of ourselves on Saturday.
These guys, well, clearly from the end of the game Saturday, these guys still have the drive, they still have the want to. I mean, they were on the white of the sideline cheering on the second team, trying to get them to stop.
Yeah, and I was proud. I challenged our guys at halftime, to come out and fight, and I was pleased, especially on defense. I thought we had some guys on both come out and fight and took some pride in trying to get some stops there at the end of the game. And even, offensively, like I said, we move the ball. When you play nationally ranked and the top team in the country, you gotta be able to convert. You can't settle for field goals, and you certainly can't settle for no points. And like I said, 4 red zone possessions, we only got 3 points, so can't have that. But I did love we've got guys fighting special teams. we got guys fighting. So that's going to be our message. And like I told, anytime we put on the Murray State uniform, I expect it for, from the first whistle to the last whistle, every ounce of football you got in you, we need it. And excited to see that, and we're going to keep demanding that.
I know that you were harping on block punts 1 week ago today.
Yeah.
Well, you got 2. What were y'all doing differently that you had not been doing before?
Well, and Coach Zielinski, our special teams coordinator, does an amazing job. But, basically right there, we got a guy, good effort, Sonneborn, and caused the shield to collapse on him and looped a guy around to the side they were punting. He started on the opposite side, kind of looped around. So once we kind of got 4 guys on their shield kind of quick, and they collapsed on Sonneborn, who he had got a straight shot, which they had to do. And then Esteban did a great job timing it up. Like I said, and got to the call side and got through and got his hands down low and was able to get a block, which was a huge play.
I mean, that was his confidence after missing
it was, he had one there, and then the Indiana State he blocked one that we got called back. But it was really good to see him, and he's a heck of a young football player out of junior college last year. So he's improved every week, and a lot of our young guys that are the first time in our program, I've seen improvement every week. And like I said, I hate to harp, but it hadn't shown up sometimes on the scoreboard at times. But I do think we got a lot of areas we're growing as a football team. Some areas we've probably regressed, so we got to fix that. Some due to injury, some just we're not getting the most out of the player at that position. So that's on us as coaches to figure that out. But like I said, we've got a great challenge ahead of us this week in South Dakota State. So we're going to need everybody's best, elite execution. It starts with that, and elite fundamentals with a team like this, because there's not much room for error.
This time of year, we start talking about needing to take the cold weather gear.
Yeah.
Up north like that. What's the forecast looking like, or have you gone at?
Yeah, I talked to Grant, or Kimberly, our director of football operations. So hopefully I got to look at it again today, but hopefully it's going to be in the 40s or 50s. So hopefully no snow. Of course, we'll be outside, but like I said, they got a great atmosphere, a lot of pride, and I know they'll have a big crowd, their fan base, and everything. So it's going to be, anytime you go on the road, it's a challenge. But anytime you go on the road to the defending national champion, and a tough place to play, and certainly weather can make it even tougher. We're maybe not used to the cold weather, so we got to get used to that, and it's a mindset, and so it'll be a challenge there. But I don't think it's going to be too extreme cold, but we'll try to make any reservations that we can to give us the best chance to hopefully go out there and play our best game of football.
One guy I did not think I would be given a question like this for was James London, but he had a tough day the other day. How bad did he need that last to go through?
Yeah, it was good. And James, I think kickers sometimes, like somebody, a golfer or anybody else, or baseball player, sometimes you're going to just mishit a ball and everything. And we got full confidence in James. And, he kicked one a little bit low. And, I'll take the blame for one of the field goals. We were thinking about going for it. And I kind of made a late decision. I probably had to rush the operation a little bit. I think we got the snap off. It was about 2 seconds on the play clock. That was actually it was the one we missed. I think it was this. I think it was the second one. Yeah, missed the first one. The second one was a little more deeper. Was my fault. Like I said, I rushed the operation when deciding to debating whether to go for it or not. So that's on me as a head coach. But I got full confidence in James. So we got to clean up a little bit on our protection. We got a little bit too much knocked back, and then anytime a ball's kicked low, and give North Dakota State credit for their rush, but we got to be better fundamentally and keep our cleats in the ground, play with some lower pad level. We're not getting that pushback.
I asked you this on Saturday. We got a few days to mull it. What kind of notes are you taking these 2 weeks NDSU and now SDSU.
Yeah, you know,
You want to be.
yeah, and I think anytime you want to be the best, something you probably need to study and know what the best do, and you know, watching all the Dakota schools and a lot of different programs in this conference. You know, it's a big conference and it's a black and blue conference, and we definitely have got to get bigger and stronger and faster. But they also play clean, smart football, so we've got to. Having a full year with some of these guys will help. We got to clean up, and it's I guess you could say guys that are really passionate, love football, love playing together. Like I said, we got a lot of guys. It's the first time they've started in football. I think we got one offensive lineman at the start of the season that ever played in a Murray State game before, Ashton Flynn, and we've got. Not many quarterbacks, that played in a lot of Division I games. Same thing, receiver, across the board, even defense. We've had guys that have played in special teams at the programs they came from, but not a lot of guys that were starters, whether it was at linebacker, safety, and even the defensive line. And it's a little bit of a jump when you're going from a rotational player. Hey, I'm playing 15 snaps a game to, hey, and now I'm playing 45, 60 snaps a game. And there's going to be some growing pains in that, but that's our job as coaches to catch them up and all that. And like I said, we've played enough games now that we got a lot of guys that aren't making the same mistakes they made. We got some guys that still are. So we've got to get better at a lot of those positions to compete in this conference. But we're definitely, I think we're a better football team than we were at the beginning of the year. But we're definitely got some injuries we're having to overcome, but also I definitely think we're nowhere we need to be. We've closed the gaps, but we got to make up a whole lot more to compete with some of the better teams in this conference, and we can. And some of it starts with the mindset and belief, and that's why I'm going to keep challenging our players. It starts with believing you can, number one, and then doing the things. Call it playing winning football, and it's a lot of stuff that. I always tell them, I said, like Michael Jordan, when he goes out there and Kobe Bryant playing basketball, they thought, man, I'm going to miss this shot. No, it was, hey, all I got to worry about getting open because if I shoot it, I'm going to make it. And I think some of that's whether it's covering somebody or going up and catching a ball or blocking somebody. You gotta believe in yourself. And sometimes you get that by getting confidence and building that. And we hadn't had a lot of games that I would say, hey, this is a good confidence builder for a young player, but hey, it is what it is. It's a schedule we signed up to play for, and this is the conference we signed up to play. And I love this conference, and it's a challenge every week. So it's fun. It's, you got to bring your best, and that's what, if you're a competitor, you love to go against the best. And I'm a competitor, and we got to get our team doing that. And it starts with me as a head coach that believing we can do it and going out and executing at the highest level to give ourselves a chance to do that.
I got one more thing to ask you. This goes back to a photo that I took Saturday. I did not know at the time when the play was happening that it was this close to being just an amazing play. Juice Hill almost made the catch of his career on a play in the end zone.
Yeah.
Is he going to be a target for some alley plays down the stretch here?
Yeah, Juice.
He's got that ability.
Yeah, being a basketball player, he knows how to go up and rebound. And one thing I love about Juice, I think he plays bigger than his stature, and that says a lot about a player. And if you're, he's not a 6'4" receiver, but he plays bigger. I think we'll throw that ball up again. And I expect Juice to make those catches. That's why we put him in that situation. And like I said, he's gotten better every week. We had him returning punts last week, and, I thought he had caught the ball. I challenged on our sideline, and he did as well. And, I know the review said otherwise, but we got to keep being creative and ways to get him the ball. But I do think he's improved at receiver, a guy that got here in the middle fall camp, being one of our most productive players on offense. So, I know he would like to have even more production, and so we got to keep being creative and keep giving him opportunities because he's shown he can make plays.